Welcome to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. I'm Julie Bronze.
And I'm Don Pichet.
Each episode, we introduce you to the real treasure of TC, its people.
You're invited to get to know the soul of Traverse City, one story at a time. Enjoy the latest episode of the Mostly Traverse City podcast. And here we are for another episode of the Mostly Traverse City podcast, and I am with an old pal of mine. We graduated from high school together a couple of years ago. Les McCorkle, welcome.
Thank you.
To the Mostly Traverse City podcast, man. We got a lot to catch up on.
Yes, sir.
And a lot to learn about. What's your connection to Traverse City? Let's start there.
I was raised here in Traverse City and graduated from Traverse City, and and all my family's here in Traverse City.
So your family's still here. You don't live here in Traverse City anymore?
No, I live in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Williamsburg, Virginia.
Yeah.
Isn't that colonial town? Or
I live in Colonial Williamsburg, Yorktown, and Jamestown, and all in my backyard.
Is that right?
Yeah, my wife's a William and Mary graduate.
No kidding.
I'm right there.
Oh, I remember our family going through that area when I was maybe in 7th grade spring break or something like that, 8th grade. And I remember going onto that campus going, this is where I want to go to school.
The area is just like Traverse City.
Yes.
I mean,
it's gorgeous and pristine.
In the summers, it grows with the tourism.
Yeah.
But in the winters, it gives you the home feeling.
Yeah.
And so I stayed down there because of being retired military. But
let's talk about that. Yeah. So we graduated from high school. You took off. Tell us about your career. What did you do? Where'd you go? And
I joined the U.S. Army in we graduated in summer of 1980. I joined the Army at the end of 1980 and served 32 years in the transportation logistics field. I've moved 17 times, lived in Korea a couple times, Germany, been all over the world, Asia and South Pacific and all over Europe. In Iraq and Afghanistan 5 times, deployed over there 5.5 years.
No kidding.
And I retired in 2012 at the age of 50 after 32 years as a Command Sergeant Major, Senior Enlisted Advisor. I worked for a General Officer.
Holy smokes. So you protected this country and Traverse City innately. Yeah.
There are a lot of veterans in Traverse City, but I don't think when we were in school we knew that. But I've experienced so many since I retired, and a lot of them come back here because Traverse City is where they were raised, and it feels like home.
Yeah. Does it feel like home to you still?
Oh, yeah. I love it to come home. I want to move back here. It's going to happen. I'm just waiting on the wife to retire.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's running the house right now. I
right.
just do dishes and laundry.
Well, just buy now because it's not getting any better.
You're right.
We don't know that that's true. Don't consider that as inside information about when to buy and sell your house here in Traverse City.
That's right.
But what do you miss most about Traverse City?
The tightness of the community. I mean, when we were in school and growing up, no matter what you did, participate in, everybody looked out for each other, were friends, families knew each other and looked out for each other, and the tightness. Traverse City's always had that. Even when all the tourists would come during the summer, you still had the tightness, and it's still there now.
You still feel that?
I feel it, and in the last 2-3 years, I've really reconnected with a lot of our friends from high school, and their families, and that's why they've stayed here. That's why my family's all stayed here, because they just. I just didn't want to work construction, so I joined the Army.
Yeah. Bro, you'd have been a really wealthy man if you. And you are a wealthy man.
I might have smashed my thumbs a lot.
Yeah, I would have smashed your thumbs a lot. But there's been a few extra houses built since then. Yeah, but it's interesting to hear your story. And you could be anywhere. You're going to be back here in Traverse City. I mean, there's not very many places in this world you haven't been. It sounds like. I mean, tell us a little bit about what your greatest lesson from 32 years in the military. What's the thing you learned that you apply to your life on a day-to-day basis?
I would say the discipline and the standards that I learned from playing sports in high school, I took that into the military. And I matured it to a point of, I retired as Command Sergeant Major, supervised 20 to 30,000 soldiers when we would deploy. And I was passive in high school, I'm not anymore.
No.
It brought a trait out of me, something that my coaches were trying to bring out of me in high school.
Yeah.
And so having, learning when to be humble, and I have really strong beliefs and values. From the military, I love the U.S. Army. I love the military, and I love Traverse City. Traverse City, black and gold. U.S. Army, black and gold.
Oh, well, there you go. So that's why you went. You didn't want to get the new T-shirt.
Well, when
Hey, you look good in black and gold. Just so you know.
thank you.
That's a slimming color. And you wrestled at what? We were just talking about 112.
I wrestled 119.
119.
As a sophomore, junior, as a freshman, I wrestled 98 pounds. When I graduated, I think our senior year, I was 130.
You mean 130 was your normal weight, but you wrestled at 119?
No, when I was a sophomore and junior, my normal weight was about 110, and I was wrestling 119. And then my senior year, I grew a little, so I was about 125. And I never was one of those guys that liked to cut weight. I wanted to wrestle naturally. And we did the teamwork thing. So, other guys could make the lower weight easier, and I wouldn't have to cut. So it was easy. I like to eat too. Look at the food in Traverse City.
Yeah, oh my God, it's a different story now.
Got to go.
I mean, it was good back then. I don't know if it was good, but
there's some of these restaurants that are still here that, there's a couple of them I'm going to hit this weekend that I drove by a couple of them today, and I'm turning my head going, we got to stop there.
Well, so what's still here from the Rounds?
Rounds, Don's Drive-In.
Don's Drive-In.
I mean, you think,
plug Don, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Nolan's Cigar Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Nolan, my last tour in Iraq, 15 months, he got the Traverse City community. I had 20,000 soldiers, and we were in Al-Naziriyah, Iraq. Al-Naziriyah is where the civil birthplace of Abraham, and he's also buried there. So that's where the religion started. He's born right there at the ziggurat. We were going to be gone 15 months, and Mike Nolan and Traverse City, all the communities around, they did 3 welcome home for the soldiers cigar things. They would light up back here in the U&I lounge, and we were 6-hour different time, and we couldn't drink. We'd drink near beer, and we'd light up cigars in Iraq, and we were filming it back and forth. They sent me over 10,000 cigars for my soldiers.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Traverse City. How could this not be my home? That's my family, Traverse City. I got 20,000 soldiers. None are from Traverse City. There's some are from other places in Michigan, but they saw Traverse City people.
Yeah, and Mike, what a classic guy, and Nolan's is still this epicenter of kind of, I don't even know what. I want to say connection and camaraderie and, certainly the heart and, what's in the best interest of that city? Great arguments and conversations and dialogue there.
In there, it's a non-attribute. Everybody just talks and enjoys, and they just tell their story from being in Traverse City, and everybody knows each other, and everybody's enjoying a cigar or beer or soda or water. I'll get by there sometime this weekend because I got to link up with some of the guys. I brought my cigars from Virginia. We'll tell stories, but I have to support Traverse City because Traverse City supported my second family, the U.S. Army.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
that's
for
amazing.
me,
I didn't know that story though. Shout out Nolan's, way to go.
Yeah,
what a cool
Nolan's thing. And Jack O'Malley was on the radio station at that time, so he was announcing it. And they made it happen. I did an interview with Jack O'Malley before I left, and I was gone 15. And they made it happen. They came up with it and made it happen. That's Traverse City.
I think that one of the things that maybe as a characteristic, and Julie and I have been doing this podcast for we're right around a year now.
Oh wow! Okay.
And one time a week every year for a year, and there's something about we get an idea, that's a great idea, let's make it happen, let's figure it out. I think it's funny because I think in a lot of different communities, the first answer is, how are we going to do that? Or we can't make that happen. And I think there's a different vibe here. I think people are attracted to being around a community that says, we'll figure it out.
Well, just this last year, you and I both had our 45th high school reunion, and
I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah, and our class president and the people she gathered with put that together, made it successful. We had almost 200 people,
Yeah.
some spouses came to Traverse City, and we spent 4 or 5 hours together reminiscing. And it was, everybody is misled, thinks reunions can cost a lot of money. I think it was $20.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so that's a reasonable cost.
Right.
Got a meal, you got
Yeah.
a couple drinks, and we got to reminisce about
Yeah.
the great place of Traverse City. And you get to see the gray hair, the bald. Some of us are skinnier, some of us are fatter, some of them had Botox, some of them got plastic surgery.
Well, that's
and then you talk about
Yeah.
their families.
But that's it, you know, like that's what the connections that we're fortunate to have grown up where connection was just modeled really well for us. And I think that's one of the reasons that we do this podcast is if Traverse City is going to maintain its character, to be that place where it just feels nice here, we have to like find ways to, how do we pass on the art of connecting?
In my opinion, this is a very liberal arts town. The arts with NMC being here, and, and then you've got the Coast Guard, and you've got the the Maritime Academy and other places. There are a lot of crafty people, artsy people here, and you get out to the farmers market, the art shows, the Cherry Festival. I mean, and you go down and Saturdays they have the street market down there. I guess you want to say, and just the fruit and vegetables, or you go out to where they've got the food court, you know, with the trailers, and there are people out there. People want to be met. I mean, I've been home now for a little over 24 hours, and everywhere I went since I've been home, I run into people and I tell them.
You still call this home?
Oh yeah, this is home.
Yeah.
I had my initial, you'll like this one. You know, when we turn 16, we get our first driver's license.
Yeah.
Michigan is one of those states, if you're in the military, you don't have to renew it until you either come back and retire or you retire in another state. So when I turned 50 and I retired in Virginia, I had to go there and get a Virginia license, but they put a hole in my
yeah. So
and
it's
they let me
expired.
keep it.
I think I have a couple
So
of those
here
too.
it's got my 16-year, and I had hair down to my shoulders. I had curly blonde hair, and I still had that, you know. But now I still have hair, but it's just a little shorter, you know.
Yeah, I think you gave a couple great ideas. You know, the question was going to be if someone were new to Traverse City, and there's a lot of people that are watching this, and we're glad you are new to Traverse City. How would you connect? I mean, you gave the Nolan's tip. That's gold. You know what I mean? I never thought about. No one's ever said that in that question. That's a great spot because whether you're a cigar smoker or not, it's just about connecting in there, right?
And there are a lot of places in Traverse City. I remember coming up in high school with my dad. And back then, it was a different age, you know, with alcohol and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't go in to drink or anything, but I remember going to the bowling alleys.
Yeah.
What was it, J&G lanes or whatever, Timber lanes? We used
Timber
to go
lanes,
there.
yeah.
My brother was in a bowling league. My mom was there with my dad, and we'd go there, and we'd see some of our classmates, and they would meet. It wasn't like, you know, where they wouldn't went and play cards at the house. They'd meet out in public places and meet people and talk, and they would remember names. I mean, so, you know, I mean, I find myself now, if I'm out and introduce somebody and they say a name, and are you related?
Yeah. We're way more linked than we aren't.
Yes.
If we talk about it, if we ask some questions,
Well, we think Traverse City is really big, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Traverse City is small.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets big in the summer because you have all the tourists. And if you go to Grand Traverse County, it's spread out, but we're really small. And it's a family, Traverse City is. I think that's, you know, and you love your family.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so.
awesome. Man, it's been really fun just kind of reconnecting and hearing some of your story. Les, everybody has in their life executed and gotten to where they are in life because they have a superpower that they don't think, they just have always had it. They just known that. What would you say is your superpower?
I think my coaches in high school were trying to bring it out of me, but I wasn't smart enough to figure it out. I was playing sports, and they knew I could be a leader and follower. I mean, my senior year of wrestling, I was the captain.
Yeah.
Then when I joined the Army, I found out that was my secret superpower. It was being a leader. My leadership skills, I excelled in that. And my soldiers are my life. They're my family. They're my second kids. And I've always, to this day, I mean, I'm 64 years old. My kids, I'll run into soldiers where I live at, or they'll call me, email me. And I had good mentors in the military, all of which now are in their late 70s, early 80s. And once a week I call them or email them, and we're in touch with each other because they're an older generation. And so I had the right mentors, but it started here in Traverse City with my parents and friends and my coaches.
So you say leadership, but what I really heard you say is connection. You're good at connecting with people. That's a superpower.
Yes, I think because being in a leadership position, you had to make decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost soldiers.
But you're being entrusted to make those decisions, and that requires connection, right?
I lost soldiers in combat, but I had to come home and talk to the parents, husbands and wives, about that. Traveled all over the world and connecting with people, because you move 17 times. You move to Europe, you move to Korea, you go to Iraq or Afghanistan. You got to meet people.
Yeah.
You can't just get there and sit in a shell. You got to experience the culture. You've got to learn how to speak Hangul. You got to learn which Korean. You have to learn how to speak German. So I learned conversational.
Yeah.
Because you had no choice. Because you go out in the community, but you do that and you go into those cultures. The people love you. It's just like when you come here to Traverse City. I live in Virginia now. In Virginia we call soft drinks soda. Up here, if you come to Traverse City, it's pop. Yeah. So when I come home, I got to say pop. And I come home, I got to get pickled bologna. I got to get jerky. If I think about the things, but I think connecting and the leadership of that was, for me, it's been it brought that shell that I had in high school. I mean, I got voted. Remember we had mock elections. I got voted most compassionate, most sympathetic. So so I looked at that, and my wife looks at me now and goes, "What? You were quiet?" She said, "I can't get you to." Even my kids are like, they tell my granddaughters. My daughter tells my granddaughter, she's like, "Remember, when you go to Grandpa, he's going to talk you to death." And I find that as I get older, and I'm not talking to soldiers every day.
Yeah.
So when I meet people, when I come to Traverse City, they listen. They want to connect with me. They listen to my story. I went to Sam's Club today to buy something before I came here, and the lady going out the door said, "Thanks for my service." And then we stood there and talked for 15 minutes. We just connected. I haven't talked to her, and she's from here. I mean, So I mean, that's Traverse.
You are exemplifying, I think, and in a beautiful way, Les. I think what makes our community great, and it's Traverse City, and it's a decision too. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, this has been an absolute pleasure for me to get to reconnect with you, and I hope this has been a meaningful opportunity for you as listeners to learn a little bit more about what makes Traverse City so amazing. It's people like Les McCorkle who laid a foundation in this.
And Don Crochet.
Who laid a foundation in this place.
I got to put one shout out there. If you're in Traverse City and got nothing to do this weekend, which there's always something to do, come to the Grand Traverse Resort and watch the Battle of the Ballroom and watch Traverse City Central Wrestling compete.
Yeah, so just you're here in Traverse City because your old wrestling team from when you were a kid
wrestled for Coach Hahn and Coach Sonneman. The tournament's named after them, and I'm here to support the kids that are wrestling in that.
That's community.
And it is. It's community. Though if the kids from Traverse City Senior High School, when we were in high school, if they knew Hahn, they knew Sonneman. They were teachers and they were coaches.
Yeah.
And that's who this tournament's named after. And these kids, I want to support these kids. I want them to have what you and I had growing up.
Well, and the only way for that to happen is to look at it. You can't talk to somebody about it. You just got to see it in action, and it's cool to see you here for that. And if you're newer to Traverse City or thinking about this place, man, take a listen to a guy like Les McCorkle, because the place that you think is so magical and so beautiful and such a great place to go, it really is. But it's not because we have the fancy water or the beautiful hills or the trees. It's because we have community and connection, and we value it.
And Traverse City the other day was on Good Morning America because the weather girl was at Crystal Mountain skiing, Ginger, and she was coming to Traverse City that night. So Traverse City special.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
Les, thanks a bunch for being on
thank
here.
you for much having me,
and-
Don. I
and,
appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Check it out. If you want to learn more about Les, we're going to have contacts and connections if you want to get connected with him. I'll bet you probably speak a bunch in a lot of different places around the country. So.
I do. Where I live at, there's a big military community. There's about 1,650,000 probably there.
That's all.
Military, active duty, and retirees, all
Yeah.
all 6 branches. And
So you get a chance
I do a
to
lot
share
of consulting for free, and I do a lot of speaking for free. I'm retired, and it's just about getting out and talking. And so, you know, because when my wife works during the day, it's just the dog, and he doesn't respond. So I miss Traverse City, and I miss my soldiers.
Yeah,
But this is my chance. But
So contacts will be in the show notes there, and we can't wait to see you next time on the Mostly Traverse City podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Mostly Traverse City podcast. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and keep living your own kind of magic.